A 2-ingredient fudge recipe? There's no way. Oh yes, you can. Make fudge with 2 ingredients and it be absolutely delicious. Making fudge can be a lot easier than you think. You can do it with 2 ingredients, whatever kind of baking chips, whatever frosting you want. As long as the 2 flavors go together, you're good to go. This is a pretty classic old school combination. It's chocolate and butterscotch. Don't knock it before you try it. So all we need to do is have a microwave safe bowl, a regular size bag of baking chips, and a 1-pound container of pre-made frosting. And all we're going to do is put our baking chips into our bowl. And we're going to pop this in the microwave at 30-second increments. Not much has happened yet, but give it a stir. They're getting a little soft. But we do this slowly so that we don't burn our chips. So, in for another 30 seconds. It's been 30 more seconds. You can see that the chips are starting to melt a bit. This is good. This is what we want. We want it to be completely melted. So let's make sure you stir it. It evens out the heat distribution. Wipe off your spatula. And back in we go for another 30 seconds. 30 more seconds. Let's give her a stir. We are nearly there. We want this to be smooth, so no lumpy baking chips. Getting there, I think 30 more seconds, and we should have it. Let's check it out. Mine kind of looks a little lumpy, but you can see when I go back and forth, it smooths most of it out. So I'm going to leave it here. Next up, we take our can of frosting, open that up. Delicious. And you're just gonna scrape the whole can of it into your bowl with your melted baking chips. So it's okay if your spatula contaminates it, because it's all about to be contaminated. And if you want to get a taste of the frosting for yourself before you mix it in, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing like a little sugar to get you going. Okay. And then just stir that in until it's incorporated. It'll all be the same color. And it'll be a nice smooth consistency. So you didn't even need to heat up your frosting. The heat from the melted baking chips softened up the frosting enough to just allow you to stir it in together. So once you see that all of your melted baking chips are mixed in well with your frosting, you can stop mixing. And you're gonna get out a square baking dish. 8x8 or 9x9 square pans are perfect. It doesn't have to be glass, it can be aluminum, because either way, we're going to line it with parchment paper. And this is just so that your fudge doesn't stick to your pan. Easy cleanup, and I wouldn't grease my pan because then I don't want that extra oil on my fudge. And then all you do is pour it all of your mixture right into your pan. You might have to straighten up your parchment a little bit because it's going to want to collapse, but that's okay. And then just do your best to smooth it out into all the corners of your pan. And if you want a little bit of a swirling action, just take the back of your spatula and go back and forth. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Fudge is never perfect anyway. It's what's inside that counts. So we are gonna go ahead and let this rest and cool in the fridge. I'm going to put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes and see if it's cooled by then. Then we'll cut it up and give it a taste test. All right, it has been a while. I'm pretty sure our fudge has set up. It's firm to the touch. I'm going to take it out of our container so it's easier to cut. Yeah, solid. And then you can just peel it away from your paper. Now, I still haven't discovered what the best way to cut this is, because I use a big chef's knife and the fudge ends up sticking to it and sticking to the knife, and then I don't get clean cuts. I wonder if like a bench knife or a bench scraper you could just press down would work. So what I'll do is I'll take a metal spatula and use the edge of it to slowly make cuts. I won't cut all of it, but we will cut a nice piece for us. Cuts like butter. Just want to get an inside chunk for us. See, that's my only qualm. It starts to cake up onto whatever you're using to cut your fudge, but you know, it's okay, we'll make it through. But if you do have any advice on the best way to cut fudge cleanly is, please leave a comment down below. It would be most helpful. Okay, I want this piece. Are we gonna get it? Oh my gosh. Okay. It's still, it's okay. It's still a little warm, but it's not warm. It just hasn't, it's not firm from being cold, but that's okay. It's like how it would be at room temperature. So this is, it's a pretty small piece, but it's fudge, so it's super sweet and it's super rich. We're gonna give it a try. It's so smooth. It reminds you of the fudge your grandmother or your great-grandmother used to make. It's that classic chocolate and butterscotch. You cannot go wrong. Oh yes, you can make fudge with 2 ingredients and it be absolutely delicious. I'd say start out with trying the chocolate frosting with the butterscotch baking chips. If you really don't like butterscotch, I would do chocolate frosting with chocolate chips. And I would go with bittersweet chocolate chips. This fudge is already super rich and super sweet. Using the bittersweet chips would bring down your sugar level a little bit, but you make your own choice for yourself. If you try this recipe and you try a different combination of baking chips and frosting, let me know what you tried out and let me know how you liked it. If you have a suggestion for me, let me know. If you try this original recipe, I'd love to hear about it too. Give it a try. 2 ingredient fudge. It's like 10 minutes of prep time. You let it cool. Easy peasy. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button and that bell so you know when I drop the next video. And thank you for watching. Thank you.